I just saw the cap with the shirt.
Hey, you better not let Tracy Morgan see you wearing that.
You just realized what you were wearing by looking into the screen?
I'll find out. I'll get my hat and my shirt back. Hello, everyone. Hola, mis amigos. You're listening to Oh My God Hi, Hijo de Dios. Hola. With me, George Lopez, porque ¿sabes qué? Let's do the show, porque I got a lot of things to do. I gotta go to that dry cleaner ahí. My kid fell, se pegó la cabeza. I gotta go get some Neosporin Paul.
You know what George is?
Oh, I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
What's his name? George?
Lopez.
George Lopez.
Oh my God!
OMG.
OMG Hi!
Oh my God, hi. Hey, so what's up, man? You want a beer or what?
No, I can't drink a beer. The doc said 2 weeks, no alcohol.
What happened?
Well, I had a bleeding ulcer. They had to go back inside me, put some chicle in there, patch it up, kick my ass out, send me home.
So this is Aaron's guitar. I'm going to sing a song.
And he just said, no
Gil.
spice.
Gil, in English or Spanish? Gil no puede tomar porque sangre está saliendo de su culo. Gil no puede bailar porque sangre está saliendo de su hoyo. Gil no puede dormir porque sangre está saliendo de su culo. Gil no puede hablar porque sangre está saliendo de su culo. Gil no puede mirar porque sangre está saliendo de su hoyo.
You sound like Nacho Libre.
I do, don't I? So you can only drink water?
Why can I? He said,
Gil solamente que puede tomar agua porque sangre está saliendo de su hoyo.
yeah, he said,
He said just drink water?
2 weeks, no alcohol. He said, no spice food, no alcohol.
So that he said a week, 2 weeks. That's for regular people. What's
That's
that for
right.
a Mexican? 3 days?
Well, by next Thursday, I'll be back with you.
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just attacking the world.
So
all over again.
you said you spent a couple of days in the hospital?
Yeah. I went in there Saturday, Sunday, did nothing but lay around on my ass. Monday, they rolled me on in, knocked my ass out. That Propofol's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Yeah, they knocked my ass out.
But you can't do it at home because you'll die. But
Yeah,
if you could do it at home.
Hey, I wish I'd
what if
had
they
my Michael Jackson glove. I'd have danced.
What if they had a Gil no puede bailar porque tiene mucho propofol en su sangre. Listen, so you're a big dude. You've been to Vietnam. You've been around the world a few times.
Yeah.
Imagine that propofol couldn't knock Michael Jackson out, and he had to be like 100 and I don't know, man, 40 pounds maybe.
I
He
don't
had
know.
built up his immune system.
I know. Last time I did it, the anesthesiologist, Asian guy, come up. He says, "Oh, you big. Oh, you real big." But he didn't give me enough shit. I still woke up during the procedure.
Hey, welcome, man.
Yeah, sorry I'm
Hey,
late.
Gil.
Hey, Jeremiah, nice to meet you.
This guy, there's a lot of Jeremiahs out there. There's not a lot that are born and raised in California.
Right.
But Jeremiah is it a biblical name?
Yeah?
It's also an African American. I met a lot of.
Wasn't
no,
a
not
bullfrog.
many Jeremiahs. Watkins, yes, but
Oh, do you know how many times I've been confused for a black guy? Like right before, or a black guy who is bringing up the next comic is like, who am I bringing up? Jeremiah Watkins, and then they're disappointed when they see a white guy come to
that's
the
hilarious.
stage. Yeah.
do you know Gil Carrillo?
Just met.
Just
yeah.
met right now,
yeah.
longtime friends.
Yeah.
Nice shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Established at the Comedy Store. Who was the first comedian to ever step on stage at the Comedy Store?
I don't
not
know.
know.
I don't know if it was Sammy Shore.
Sammy Shore.
And then also, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other person who it would be.
How does a guy? So it's always interesting to see how guys find their way to comedy.
Yeah.
But are you musical as well too, right?
Yeah.
And you act.
I play sax. Yeah.
I just heard you played sax.
Yeah.
Okay, so in school, did you pick up an instrument?
I did. I played just kind of grade school band, very early on, like 3rd, 4th grade.
You know what I
Started
think is
taking lessons.
what I think is a bad thing for schools is that they don't offer music anymore as a choice. Like you have to get music on your own. But if you went to junior high in 7th grade, you could take music and then get an instrument
You
like
used
a
to
trumpet.
have to do it.
You had to.
Had to.
And maybe
Yeah.
some kids weren't musicians, and maybe some were, but
You found out quick.
you found out quick.
That's where I started, elementary school.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I ever asked my dad for that I really didn't need. And he rented a saxophone for me.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah, he did. He
What,
did it
what
for
kind
me.
of sax we talking?
It was an
Alto, tenor?
Alto. By the time I got to high school, I was blown tenor.
Yeah.
And now in old age, I picked up the Barry.
Ah.
What's the bear? Well, hey, who
That's
you
the big
texting,
one.
the doctor?
No, I want to
Because Gil no puede dormir porque sangre está
He can't
saliendo de
sleep
su
'cause-
culo.
Because he's leaving for his butt?
Yeah. Hey!
Hey, man.
fucking got it.
blood is
Yeah.
coming out,
His
man.
blood's
Butt's coming out, yeah. He can't sleep
Because blood's coming out of his
Okay,
ass.
it's blood. All right.
He had a bleeding ulcer. Have you ever had an ulcer?
No, not yet.
You don't want one.
Right.
I had one, and it doubled me over. I got it on the road. I went on a bus tour the first year of my show. I thought, I'd be cool by doing that. That fucking thing, it
Took you
hurts,
out.
doesn't it?
No, it didn't hurt at all. They kept saying, "Does it hurt?" And I said, "No, it doesn't hurt. I'm fine. Nothing hurt, other than the blood coming out." And that didn't hurt.
Hey, did you buy that fucking hat and that shirt in the same bag?
No, I didn't. But
It's a Costco
You know,
collection.
sometimes they have the
Yeah.
you get the shirt, you go, hey, guess what? A fucking hat too. Shit.
when
It came in the pocket.
I have all my hats in the same place.
Porque Gil no puede poner una gorra porque sangre está saliendo de su culo.
Why not?
God damn, it took you long
Oh,
enough.
wow.
When was that?
That was for my 70th birthday. It was 2 years ago.
Oh, I thought you didn't play anymore.
Yeah, that was the last time I played.
Oh, man.
After that, since then, I had lung surgery, and they took off 6 inches of my right lung, and I'm still having fluid in there, and things getting heavy. I'm getting old. The
Hey, but
wind.
welcome to the show, man.
Yeah. Hey, he's got big lungs if
he's
they're
got
taking
big
6
lungs
inches.
at a-
You know what I'm saying?
And an oil that's passing blood.
That's fucking hilarious. Hey, and who were your musical? First of all, who's musical in your family? That's to be. I always think genetics. Do you think genetics play a part in?
I think in some families for sure, but my mom and my dad can't really sing. Yeah, they can't really sing. They can't carry too much of a tune. So I think that, and even my grandma and my grandpa, I'll just hear them like singing in church and stuff, but
Yeah.
they'd always sing low enough where you couldn't pick
Yeah.
up really, like so other people would be masking their voices around them. Yeah.
So when did you start to feel that? Like in elementary school, junior high?
Yeah,
Middle school, whatever.
I started one of those. I started.
No, this is late laughter. I'm still laughing at him. When I was looking for the photo, he's making fun. I just saw it on the cap with the shirt.
Hey, you better not let Tracy Morgan see you wearing that.
You just realized what you were wearing by looking into the screen?
I'll find out. I'll get my hat and my shirt back. That's my Tracy Morgan.
That's actually pretty good.
I hung out with him for a while. He don't remember because it was after the accident.
Oh, okay.
He really doesn't remember.
He looks like he got in an accident wearing that.
That fucking, who'd he run into?
I had the shirt, and then I have my hats all in the same place. It's some plaid shirt. I said, "There's that plaid hat. Put
Yeah.
the plaid hat on."
You know what? If you went to Griffith Park wearing that with a red bandana,
I wouldn't.
sticking out of your back pocket,
If I went to Griffith Park,
you'd be working it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be getting all kinds of oil.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be filling you in.
Yeah.
Fill
And his
me in.
culo would really be.
It's cool. Ew.
this is how the old lady likes me to wear it.
Fucking Davy
because
Crockett.
she says the other way I look too old.
All right.
They're her eyes, not mine.
You do look more jazzy this way versus the front
Yeah.
way. Does look, it is a different vibe.
There it is.
And if you ever want to go to a job interview and not get it, put it sideways.
Facts.
What do you like? Oh, no, we're still with the music. But what do you feel like you?
I found out kind of like in grade school, like when we had to start doing choir. They forced us to do choir
Yeah.
and band and stuff early on, and I just had a knack for it. I had a good ear for it, and I started getting told that I had a good singing voice. Like early on, and my mom would tell me she's always been very encouraging of like my musicality. Yeah.
Wow, man, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Could you sing or you just?
I sang, but no classes, no nothing. I always wanted to sing with the band when I was young.
What did you want to sing? We
background.
could be on a desert,
Yeah, right.
lost without a place to go, but we're so in love. in love with each other, and blood's coming out of my oil. I don't care that I can't sit down anywhere. That's his laugh.
This laugh is
That's
amazing.
his laugh. And that's his laugh everywhere. It's not like, it's like, if somebody's next door in a hospital, they go, we have to give him his last rites, and they're watching cartoons in the next room.
Ed McOmbre over here.
Yeah, Ed McOmbre. And what music did you like growing up?
I grew up on oldies, classic rock. We had and randomly it was like in the 90s, boy bands were huge. So like we'd have different CDs in the car. My mom had best of Steve Miller Band, Fleetwood Mac.
Ooh.
We had like the Beatles anthology discs that we would put in,
Yeah.
and then then it was like Backstreet Boys. Very polarizingly different, genres of music. But
Well, do you think the boy band craze, like, did it help music? Because those guys didn't play, they sang, right?
Right.
So it's really kind of a throwback to the 50s, like if the Four Tops or
Sure.
the Spinners and the Shy Lights, just another version of it where the guys didn't come out with instruments, It got young girls into it, right? Into
Yeah.
music.
Well, K-pop is essentially a bunch of boy bands now, and that's like bigger than any kind of music.
Why is K-pop bigger than regular pop? Because chinitos or what?
That is global.
Because half an hour later you want to hear music again? No. Like the food?
Hey.
Man, when you're racist, it's hard to stop being racist. I mean, I'm telling you.
Tell me about it.
People look at racial
Just
insensitivity.
Martinez about it.
Hey, man. What the fuck was going? Hey, how about how racist
love
is
this guy.
How racist is LA politics? Where they know they're being recorded, they're talking shit. That guy, that Jewish son of a bitch. It's like what the fuck? You know you're being recorded, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It still doesn't matter. I knew that girl, that Nuri.
Her sister was a councilwoman over San Fernando.
Pestosas cochinas.
Yeah. Now we're
I'll
gonna get in
suck your
trouble.
dick for your vote. George, can you write a jingle for us? Sure. How long does that have to be? Like 5 seconds. For your vote. All right, girl, take it easy. You're scaring our guests.
No, I love
You're
it.
scaring fucking me then. I see that there's so many things I want to ask you. You have children?
I do. I've got a son. He's a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did you meet your wife?
I met my wife doing improv at Second City out here in LA, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we were both taking classes.
You didn't know her from anywhere, right?
No.
First time you saw her, she was in your class?
Yeah. She grew up in the Bay Area, and she came down here in her 20s. She was doing acting stuff, and I was doing the comedy thing, and I was taking them for that. And she ended up using the improv classes. She teaches kids on the spectrum to help with their social skills and emotional skills through improv now. And I use my improv within my stand-up and different stuff like that.
Wait a minute. So, you know the spectrum, right?
No.
Where the Sixers played in the 70s? No. The spectrum is.
I thought it was a
Will you
television
explain
station.
a spectrum to Gil?
Yeah, whether you're on or off the autism spectrum, or you have different special needs where you need help with communicating or even eye contact. It can be, some kids are like nonverbal where they have trouble communicating with their mouth, and they literally need help just like communicating with eyes or their hands or anything. And she's used improv games and developed a curriculum around that to help kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's a social and emotional learning specialist now at a charter school here in LA.
Are children being born with that kind of emotional? What would it be called? Emotional. Is it not an issue? No. But are kids being born where they have trouble when they start to talk? That they have trouble communicating, talking?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's a lot of kids on the spectrum that are born nonverbal where they have problem communicating their needs, even like with just they can speak. They can speak.
They can't speak.
But there's just something in their brain that's holding them back from completing that thought or their needs.
Okay, check this out.
Yeah.
So this is what's going on with kids now. If we went to school and a kid didn't talk, right? And they would say, "David, talk." He doesn't talk, Mom. I'm telling you. Give me your fucking bell. He'll talk right now. Right? Can't you just see?
Give me the chocolate.
I can just see
Right.
parents being mean to a kid that's
Sure.
nonverbal.
Oh, yeah.
Because you wouldn't understand why he's not talking. Oh, he thinks he's better than us. That's why he doesn't talk. And they whip your ass, man. I think that's right.
Oh no, it's been around for a long time. It's just handled differently. Yeah,
and what is it? Is that is it genetic? Is it passed to the parents? Is it
some of it is genetic. With what they've found, I'm definitely not an expert by any means. But from what I understand,
And the improv helps them.
Yeah, like through like different games and stuff like that, it helps them get out of their comfort zone, or it breaks it down in a way where they just have to focus on the thing that's right in front of them. So they end up becoming more comfortable with other things in life after they kind of conquer these little games.
Yeah.
Could have been brought on by a traumatic experience. Watching, if there was domestic violence in the house before them when they were little children watching
I mean, that's not the spectrum. I mean, that's probably something that's other. Yeah, but I'm sure like these games like help in those situations. And
I wonder what it. I mean, I don't remember. Again, I'm not an expert, clearly, but I don't remember as many kids who were either in emotional classes in elementary school and junior high.
Yeah,
not as many. I think you might see more now.
Oh, yeah, it's just a different like.
But is it what we're eating? Is it?
I don't think it was just recognized when we were young.
I just think it's.
I don't
more,
think it was recognized when we were younger.
I think he was just like, oh, that kid's different. You know what I mean? That's how it was like because autism wasn't like as well known. Like even when I was.
I had a joke about Latinos where they have 3 kids, but one of them is autistic, so you never see that one. So they come over, they go, "Where are your kids at?" "No, they're right here. I only have 2. I thought you had 3. Now 2 in the back here." Come over. Tell your brother to shut up. I have people over there right now. Come over. Tell your brother if he yells one more time, he's gonna be yelling for real. In the back. Because we were not. We would hide those people. I think, right?
Yeah, well, I just
say
didn't have
what I mean. I just think you just
the longest game of hide and seek ever. Yeah, keep hiding, keep hiding.
It's not. I mean, it's mean, but I mean, it's.
I ask if it's traumatic because my granddaughter, who had traveled with the team dancing around the world, she went to Japan, and this was a year and a half after they had the big tsunami that wiped everything out.
Yeah.
They used to work with little kids and teaching them how to dance, and there was this little boy that had not spoken in over a year and a half since the tsunami, had not spoken, and he finally broke out and started communicating with my granddaughter. And
What's the first thing he said? Whoo! What he said? What was the first word he said?
I don't know how you get turned.
Don't go over there.
So
no, I can't imagine a tsunami. I mean, here if it rains, you spin out. Because it was the first rain of the season. But imagine, the trauma of
tsunami.
Yeah, in LA when it drops 5 degrees, I need a scarf. I need, you know what I mean? I need a beanie.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to get my car wet.
Right.
That was my excuse one time. And then you guys started. Was it when you saw your wife for the first time? It was like, okay, I kind of see it. I can feel it.
Well, she had a boyfriend like when I first saw her, and I was just like about my comedy, so I was like, okay, cool. But then I found out she didn't have a boyfriend, and then I was like, okay, hey, we should hang out. And then
is that what you said? We should hang out?
Yeah. I was like, I messaged her. I was like, hey, we should hang out sometime. Pretty direct. Yeah.
And she said, yeah, cool. And
then eventually we went on one date. I kissed her at the end of that first date, and I thought it was great. She called me the next day. She's like, I think we should just be friends.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh. I just stayed chill. I was like, all right, that's okay for now.
Wow, man.
So, that's one way of doing it. It's
but
either,
I think most guys
it's either confident or serial killer.
Went back to licking your reed.
yeah, right back to it. Practicing for the next time.
Is that what you had to do? Was there a way to lick a reed that was different than everybody else?
Just soak that thing. Get it.
You got to soak it.
Get it nice and soft.
And what's the reed?
Yeah,
bamboo? Is the reed of the sax? Is it bamboo?
They have. Most of them are bamboo. They also have fiberglass ones that I never could play with.
I've never played that. Yeah, I play with the wood.
And where does the reed go?
On your tongue, and then it goes. You're biting onto the mouthpiece, and then you're cupping your under lip, and then
So it's who designs that fucking instrument? Okay, get some of that tree like about this long. Well, put it here. You're gonna blow from under. You blow from under.
But first, you got to suck it real good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real thin, so it'll vibrate. Mm-hmm.
Is that what makes it sound?
Yeah, that's the sound.
Wow. So I think it's amazing for anybody to blow into it, much less create music from blowing into a reed.
How long did you play for when you played?
Not long. I was never a great player. I played tenor. I started in elementary school through high school. Right after high school, I went in the Army, and then I came back, played a couple of gigs. But in my high school days, I was playing. They asked me to audition for a rock and roll band. I started playing with a rock and roll band. That was the easiest thing to do in the world. You know, it was easy to do. So as a kid, I'm making $10 to $25 an hour doing something that I love to do, and so it was cool.
Could you play shotgun?
Yeah, Junior Walker. That was.
And what happened now? If I gave you your sax right now and you tried to play shotgun, would your spine blow out of your asshole?
No, my blood would blow out of my ass.
Just from right?
No, my fingers don't. That's why I went to the baritone, because you start off in alto and you went to tenor, a lot of fingering there. Baritone is the bottom. It's like the tuba of the band.
Yeah, the bass line.
So you're not blowing as hard as the bass.
You're blowing. You're just not doing a lot of intricate fingering.
Right.
It's nice and slow. You ba-doom, ba-doom. So it's just the bottom end of the group.
You should look up a sax player who plays baritone. It is one of the fastest players I've ever seen. His name is Leo P. Phenomenal saxophonist, and
right?
he would blow your mind the sounds that he can make with a baritone. He makes it go really high. He makes it go crazy low.
And you don't hear that often.
Yeah.
The sax player Doc for shit.
Come on, man! Don't be
No, I'm not.
Some old bullshit.
No, he's a big band from San Francisco area.
That'll narrow it down. Okay.
Okay, it'll come right
Go
now.
lay down. Go fuck it out there and lay down and come back in here when you can talk like a normal person.
You've been playing guitar for a while?
No, I play every day. It sounds like I can play.
Yeah.
But I think he's missing a string.
Ah, gotcha.
The beam.
You're just a young man. That's a big song.
You're still a young man. Tower of Power.
Tower of Power. Their Barry sax player is good.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's my. Oh, sorry. Never mind. That's
Wait,
my
where's that
Sanford
coming
and Son
from?
ringtone. Yeah. Can you hear it?
Yep.
All right.
I thought I was going crazy because I heard sax. I was like, did you
Yeah,
cue
right.
that
Is
up?
that sax? Why sax? Why sax?
I saw somebody playing it, and it just was one of those instruments that right away it fascinated me, and I was like, I want to play that. I asked my mom and dad. I was like, can we figure out a way? And I started taking lessons.
You said that. Could we figure out a way to?
Yeah. Can I play that? And then I started working like odd jobs and stuff. When we rented this old Yamaha from the music shop, started taking lessons from this music shop, and then like I would mow lawns, shovel drives, and put money towards paying off this sax. And then like birthdays and stuff like that, I'd ask for money to pay towards the sax. Yeah.
You would appreciate this. One of the guys that was working with me, because you're not a sax player, you wouldn't understand this part. The guy that was working with me was 2 years older than I was in his school, but he used to warm up triple tonguing. He had a professional sax player. Stan Seckler was giving him lessons. Stan Seckler had to quit. He said, I can't teach this kid anymore. He had perfect pitch. You could honk your horn. He could tell you what note it was. Wow. He went to audition for the SC band. He auditioned for them. They jumped up and started yelling bravo first as a freshman, first seat, as a sax player. And the only guy that I cried for, I went to school. I was in the Army. I was in Vietnam, and they notified me. He couldn't afford, because he was from a single parent, couldn't afford the SC stuff anymore. There wasn't enough money, certainly paying for him, but to help the family out. Yeah. He went into the Army, and he went to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, which was the head of the U.S. Army Band. And he went on a hike, and he fell over the cliffs. Yeah. Chris Harding. Yeah, I'll never forget the guy. Nicest guy in the world. Was great. The band teacher gave him the keys of the classroom.
Just go in there and just play?
Yeah, he'd go in there and play. He worked with a few of us. He was just good and nice guy. And to warm up, triple tonguing, man, it's phenomenal. He was just good.
Yeah. And how deep does your music go? From the jazz to like rock? Who used it in rock? Bruce Springsteen,
Yeah.
Clarence, and
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of.
for me personally, I never got good enough where I was like really good at jazz by any means. I did like I got to a place where I have a really good ear for sax and music where if I hear something I can transcribe it. Like I can literally, that's how I will like. If I hear a song on the radio, I can play it on sax by listening to it and writing down the notes, and then I can read off of, you know what I mean?
Give them your test. Your
I wish.
interrogation test.
I wish I could do that stuff.
Give them your interrogation test.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
Remember the 1 to 2?
No, what, to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You talk about your parents here. You had to go to your mom and dad and get this. When you talk about and your grandparents, you didn't know if they were musical or not. But when you talk about your grandfather, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
World War II.
World War II.
Yeah.
And why World War II? Why does that pop to mind?
Because he had a restless leg syndrome where he would always be moving his leg. So that was like kind of what I started to associate with him every time I saw him.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's visual.
Yeah.
He's a visual person.
Yeah.
He sees his grandfather.
So detectives use questioning to find out how whoever they're interrogating processes their information.
Yeah, most 99% of the population is either visual, audio, or kinesthetic. You know, you're either seeing or you remember hearing them yell at your grandmother.
Yeah.
Audio, or God, he was so full of love. Every time I saw him, he gave me a big hug. He was always warm, telling me warm. So you're
Gotcha.
kinesthetic, heartfelt.
Yeah.
So when I am interviewing somebody as a suspect, I want to know what I'm going to do, where my questions are going to go.
Sure.
So I want to find out what kind of person he is. Therefore, I direct my questioning towards the type of person he is.
Okay. So what are you when like if somebody did that with you? Have you ever?
I'd probably say kinesthetic, and I'm a touchy, heartwarming type of guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'd probably say I'm kinesthetic. You get to me.
But also, yeah, he's very emotional. Yeah.
I start crying when people make fun of blood coming out of my culo.
Yeah. At what point did you decide to leave Kansas and come to California?
When I was 20 years old.
That's fucking insane, man. That's so young.
When I was 20.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't have done it. And you drove out here. You had your car. You drove out.
Yeah, I packed up with my brother.
Wow.
And my dad and my brother helped me. We crammed everything I owned into my car. And then when my brother was old enough to rent a U-Haul with me when he came to. So we went to like the Goodwills and Salvation Armies around town, got like a bed off Craigslist, got a dresser, drawers and stuff like that off Goodwill and stuff like that. And then I had a Craigslist roommate when that was real popular.
Ooh.
Like that's how I found my place.
Fucking Craigslist room. What was that like?
He was the dirtiest person I've ever met in my life.
No shit?
Yeah.
What would he do?
Just dishes everywhere, that kind of thing, and I can't. I'm very...
And what is that about somebody, man? That like they're just...
Not me, I can't do it.
What is that? What do you think
he
that
would
is?
cook like meat, like shirtless in the kitchen, and stuff like that. Yeah.
And what did he do for a living?
He was just going to school. I think he became a lawyer. Yeah.
But just nasty, right?
It was just
dirty?
disgusting. Yeah.
Wow.
He had a hot girlfriend. It made no sense. It made no sense whatsoever. He was like a pig, but like, yeah. Had a hot girlfriend. Never added up to me.
You looked in Craigslist, you saw the ad, you called him up, you said, hey, I'm new in town, I'm going to go over there. You met him?
Yeah, there was a room that was open. There's another guy. I had an Indian roommate for a little bit. I'd never had Indian food before, and he would cook in the kitchen, and I was blown away by that. He went to Indian restaurants and stuff like that. Me from Kansas, like, very limited on like the different, like, different ethnic regions and stuff like that. We just had like decent Mexican food in Kansas City, and like I had like sushi like one time, but like when I moved to LA, that's when I like started trying everything.
Yeah.
Ethiopian, Thai food, more Japanese food. Yeah.
And when you moved out here, you were moving out to do comedy, to sing, or
to do comedy.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
You went to the comedy store when you were 20?
I went to the comedy store like one time for their open mic when I was 21, and then I was like, I'm not ready yet. I sensed that I wasn't ready. I was like, this is the big leagues. Like so I went and worked on material until I had a bunch of material built up because their open mic there, their potluck, It's a 3-minute set when you go up there, and I wanted to do a different new 3 minutes every time to make sure I wowed the talent coordinator there. Yeah.
Fucking A, man. We didn't do that. And it was 3 minutes back then. 3 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but it can be a fucking long time.
If you're bombing, it's a long time.
If you're eating, it's gonna be a fucking long time.
Yeah. But if it's going well, you're just like, oh,
but it was you. Nothing. But you saw it as an occupation, huh?
Oh, always. Wow. Yeah, I've been very always focused as far as that stuff
And did you
goes.
work during the day while you got out here?
First 2.5 years, I was at Starbucks, working at Starbucks in Beverly Hills.
Wow, man.
Worst job I've ever had.
Yeah? How come?
Easily. The worst clientele ever.
Like, fucking people, what are they, rude? And like, is this...
Everything imaginable. They think of you so, like...
Is that in your act?
A little bit. Yeah.
But I mean, I think if you look for stuff that people would laugh at,
sure.
The relatability of doing an impression of someone who's like, this isn't, what would their top 3 complaints be?
I mean, we had down to the temperature. Excuse me, this is not 140 degrees. I know what 140 degrees tastes like. And we're like down to that kind of person.
Stick your tongue in my culo, see how hot it is up there.
Right? Wow, man. This isn't 140 degrees. I know what 140 degrees tastes like.
Yeah. So, I mean, just very high maintenance people.
And
I luckily worked with people who were very nice. There were some girls that were angels there. They said, as long as you're making us laugh, we don't care how slow you are.
Wow. And it was about being fast, huh?
Yeah, because it's about getting people their drinks because it's like 6 a.m. and people are on their way to work and they're all
But
aggro.
how fast can somebody make... I mean, what
I was so slow there, they thought I was special needs, the customers. It was bad.
I said, oh, it's so wonderful you hire those people.
It was. They're like, oh, you're doing a good thing here. I was like,
But how fast do they expect? Is the Starbucks have a chart of what something should take?
I think most people expect to get their drinks in under 2 minutes.
God damn.
Under 2 minutes. So like me, I was so bad at the job. I'd be sweating and nervous and stuff like that because I knew that I just wasn't fast. That's not like one of my skill sets. There was girls there that they would whip up lattes so fast.
And you have to put a new latte, that thing they put in there and they pack it. Yeah. You have to do a new one every time you make a latte?
You got to steam milk you got to clean the espresso maker and like add shots and stuff. And it's a system where if you get it down like a rhythm, I could just never get that.
Wow.
Like, I also didn't like the job, so that didn't help.
Right, but you stayed there for a couple of years, huh?
Stayed there because they were flexible with my comedy.
Wow.
I got asked to switch shifts with people. I was like, hey, I got a late show on Tuesday. Can you cover for me like on Wednesday? Or if I had an audition come up, then I could always swap shifts and stuff like that.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So you had it all figured out. You had it kind of like formulated, right? You had the structure of it. You moved out here. You had a place to live.
Yeah.
It didn't matter where you lived. That guy was a dirty fucking roommate, but you didn't say like, "Oh, I can't stay here."
No,
you did
it
what
was
you
a good
had to
location.
do.
I could walk to Second City, and I was a 6-minute drive to the Comedy Store. So I was like, "Oh, I'm staying here. The rent's affordable." Like as far as LA standards go, I'm like, I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah, I stayed there for the first 5 years that I lived there. And the second place was 5 years when I moved in with my wife to a new place, and then the place that we're at right now, we've been there almost a couple of years.
Wow,
so
man.
I'm a creature of habit. Once I like something, I commit to it.
Is your wife in the business as well, or?
No, she's a social and emotional learning specialist. Yeah.
God bless her, man. I think that's.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's a special calling.
Yeah, and she has a special needs person at home with her too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
They thought you were special needs because you were.
I was that bad at that job. They thought I was I Am Sam. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, sure.
They literally were like, he's nice at talking to us. That's good. Yeah.
And what was the first thing that you got when you were out here?
The first thing I got, which allowed me to quit Starbucks, was a national Chevy Volt commercial.
I know we've seen that one, huh? Which one is it?
They played it back in the day. It was for the 2012 Chevy Volt. They played it. It was like I was a guy. I had long hair. That was like down to here. I was sticking out of a fast food drive-through, and I'm asking about his car, and I'm asking him where he pours the electricity into his car, and then I take a bite into his burger, and he's like, "Is that my burger?" And I'm like, "I just had a bite."
Wow.
Yeah.
And just went to the audition.
Yeah, it was a blind audition. I just got it.
Wow.
Changed my life. been doing comedy full time since 2012.
Shit, man.
That allowed me. It paid my bills for 1 year, where I could start hosting on the road and featuring on the road and stuff like that back in the day.
Yeah.
And just doing enough just to get by. And then, like, since then, yeah. Obviously, ups and downs over the years, but yeah, I've been very fortunate.
What were the downs?
Where you don't know, like, where money's coming in at all. Like, where you're looking at your bank account and it's just getting lower and lower and lower, and you're like, rent's due next month.
And what'd you do?
I would just find odd jobs. I would video edit. I would do random things, like, during the day, take weird stand-up gigs, like around. I did with a couple buddies. We did a 15-year-old's Armenian birthday party. It's just random weird gigs over the years, where we'd be like, oh, $150? Yep, we'll be there. How much time do you need to fill? Got to fill an hour? Okay, we'll fill it.
Wow, no shit, man.
Yeah.
And how were those good?
Some of them were surprisingly good. Some of them are horrible.
Wow.
But yeah. Luckily, I've had a good crew of friends over the years, where you're kind of in the trenches, as you go along in your journey. If you make a good core group of friends, then it makes it easier.
What was your philosophy of doing the gigs like that? Like, did you worry? You know what? I had a hard time with fucking doing parties like that. Like, one time I got to one where the guy was going to pay us a pretty good amount of money. I don't think I had gotten I wasn't on TV yet, and it was in the 90s. And I pulled up to the place early, and I could hear him talking. And inside me, I just said, like, nope. And I called that dude, and I told him I got in an accident. I couldn't be there.
Oh.
But I was there early.
You sense the surroundings, and
but
you're like, I'm out?
I was just afraid, I think. I was just afraid.
Yeah,
I mean, fucking somebody that goes full on head into that is.
I've always been
something to admire.
I've been overly confident to a fault, where, like, even when I wasn't good at all, I'm like, oh yeah, I got this.
Wow, man, that's fucking impressive.
Yeah.
And where does that come from?
It's
counter to where fucking comedians are, because they're afraid of everything.
My mom used to tell me that I was the best at everything. And, like, I've just found out over the years that I'm not, just, like, by trial and error.
Wow.
Like, I used to think that I was, like, a model, dude. I used to think that I was, like
I used
to think that I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, I'm the best looking person on earth. Because my mom built that kind of confidence into me.
I think there is something to that, huh?
I guess. Never happened to me.
You never looked in the mirror and said, my shit looks good on me?
I used to think I was going to be a professional NBA player.
Because you're, wow.
But I was decent, and then I went, like, as I got, older and, like, and more competitive, I was like, oh, I'm not.
But did your mom, she was just that type of person, huh?
Yeah, she just instilled that within, like, me and my siblings.
I mean, think about that. Think about, most people are like, oh, my mom or dad never said they loved me. They never told me they were proud of me. They never told me, come here and, have dinner with us, talk to us, what's going on with you.
Right.
Like, that doesn't just happen in one generation. That happens over generations. Mm-hmm. So to find a parent that takes an interest in you and really makes you believe that anything is possible is a fucking godsend.
She didn't have that from her parents, so I think that she went the other way with it. You know what I mean?
It says a lot, man.
You say that. I didn't have that from my parents, but I look at one of my daughters, and she's like that, encouraging her, can tell them how good they are and how nice they look and how smart. Always positive feedback. And I know that didn't come from us. Didn't come from me.
It's got to be really something, I think, to because usually you get to some point where you hear so much negativity that you'll be like, I'll show you. But the idea of somebody believing you from the beginning and then you go out and you really do believe you can do anything has got to be, it's got to be to just less worry when you go out there. Like, you weren't afraid to go up. You weren't afraid to go to an audition. You weren't afraid. And I think that's why you got that stuff early on. It's just most actors and more people that go in commercials are there never thinking they're going to get it.
Right.
As opposed to just going in and being there in the present and thinking, fuck, I'm good. I can get this.
The way I look at it, I'm a pretty happy guy, like, in life, and I'm grateful for, like, what I have and everything. The way I look at it, I'm like, if I don't get that thing, like, I'm not hinging all this hope on that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I feel like desperation comes off real easily and like and a lot of opportunities. If you want it too much, and I've had to work on it a lot over the years because I'm a very competitive person.
Yeah.
I've had to tone that down a little bit, like as far as like, you know, the industry, because people, if you're too competitive, then people are like, all right, like easy.
And you know, I think when people are, you know, when they're in the industry and they're making decisions on casting or making decisions on who to hire, you know, when you're on the outside, you look at the studio and you think they got to be the best at their jobs. They're not. When people write a part, they're writing a part based on a story or based on an idea. 3 guys are sitting around in the room. We go, okay, he does this. He's going to meet a secretary. She's going to be a little bit nerdy. And you put the call out, then these people come in. But there's so many places to go now that not every job is filled by somebody who's good at their job.
Oh, sure.
And you would think that they were, if you went to the NBC casting or Warner Brothers casting, that you think back in the day there were less jobs. Now there's fucking thousands of jobs.
Yeah, I've been told by some friends in casting over the years that they're relieved when somebody comes in the room that's good, because they're like, because it makes my job easier. I don't have to put out as much of a search. They
want to find somebody. You know, when in doing the new show that we're doing, we found a guy that was a bit of a Woody Allen type guy that would have been Mayan's partner in the show, the boy, you know, the father of her child, and we all liked him. He just very, very kind of Woody Allen-ish, you know, good actor. And then NBC said, no, I think there's somebody out there that's better. And it was during the pandemic, so you had to Zoom stuff, you know. So we found Matt Shively. He was on vacation in the Keys, and he did the Zoom. And when he read the first time, and he read another scene, and we hung up, and we went, I think that's the guy. And we read him again. He read with us, and he's the guy, and he's fucking great. And you can't imagine the direction of the show without him there. Like, he's so funny, man. And I mean, when you're putting a team together, like on a show, you want everybody to be good.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are, and sometimes, you know, there's shows where you can give more to one person and not much to somebody else. They're more the straight person. But they're good. They're strong. Like, he's good, right?
Yes.
He was already good, but I mean, it's great to see somebody that can be funny, and he'll find it himself, which I think is, So getting in and having somebody coming in and knocking somebody out, you leave the room, they go, that's our guy.
Yeah. You excited for your new show? On the way here, I passed by a couple of your billboards.
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah. You never really know with things, but I mean, you know, it's been great. Everybody's really funny, and we'll wait and see.
I'm
doing
excited
a bunch of publicity.
Saw the commercials on TV and I already thought, I'm excited. I can hardly wait.
How much did you get recognized after the Netflix doc drop?
A bunch.
Oh, had to, right?
And right now it's split 50-50 between the Netflix thing and being with George.
Sure.
Being on this thing.
Yeah.
Half the people recognize me from this. A lot of people recognize me from Netflix.
But you want to be in the light, I think.
Right? I do. It's very nice. For the first time in years, you know, the Netflix thing, people are showing appreciation for law enforcement, which is a dirty job right now. There's nothing there.
Right.
And then being associated with you, this is a funny thing. Everything is positive. There's absolutely nothing. And who wouldn't want to be, seriously, not kissing blood out of your fundillo, but who wouldn't want to be associated with someone of your staff, a comedian,
and
an
Lopez.
actor, and so it's all positive.
The one thing that success gives you is less time to hate people. Why do you have to hate anybody? No. But I think, you know, like the first show, nobody knew me. You know, the 20 years ago, nobody knew me. And I was kind of like my introduction to everybody. And then now people know me. And then some people that, you know, I told a lot of people know me, you know, but I don't spend time thinking about who likes me and who doesn't. You just do the job. Or I don't spend, or now because of the work, but I don't spend any time on social media at all. Like I have somebody that does it, but I don't look at it at all because I think that, you know, it's like porn, I say. You know, I didn't look at any porn at all. And then I was playing golf with a guy, and the guy was talking about porn, and I looked at something, and then I looked at it for years, but I didn't look at it before that. So it's like when somebody you look at something that I didn't look at it. I didn't. Then you look at it, and then in whatever part of your life, you're looking at it more. But I think it takes you away from what's fucking real.
I mean, I'm definitely jealous of that you got to come up in when you did, like in comedy.
Yeah.
Of not having to deal with social media.
I know, man.
I'm very like because it's something that it's like a weird necessary evil that like we have to use
Yes.
now. Like the comics like that are trying to come up and like make waves and stuff like that because there's less auditions through typical ways now where
That's right.
like the agent and the manager calling you like, hey, I got you this. A lot of the stuff that I get is, you know, like maybe my manager connecting something that I am already doing on social media or something like
Yes.
that. So it's a weird thing. So like I would man, I can't wait till I get to that place where I don't have to look at it.
I gotta send a list of comedians for an event that they're having, and they wanted people with large followers.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
they said, here's the list. Like, do you see anybody on this list? And they had their number of followers by their name.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's very typical these
You know,
days. Yeah,
where
yeah.
somebody's going to get a part. Two actresses, they're going to give the part to the actress who has the most followers. That's different.
Yeah.
And it's a game that you have to. It's a game that you have to play, whether you want to or not. On TikTok, there was a guy that I think he has an account but he was like saying that I had changed because I had made money and that I have all this millions of dollars and I pay no attention to anybody else and that I'm not humble anymore. This motherfucker doesn't know me. He doesn't know anything about me. And that's his thing. That's his angle, is to tell people that, hey, this guy's a sellout. This guy has got so much money, he forgot about the little people. It's like, you think Jeff Bezos, fucking people go like, hey, you motherfuckers, you sell books in your garage, and now you got more money, you piece of shit. It's just, I don't know, I think it's just people that envy is one of the deadly sins,
Sure.
but also when your heart is in an area where most people are, I mean, where your heart is in a place where you spend time pulling at people you don't know and typing shit that's negative to people you've never met.
Yeah.
What does that say about that person? man?
Negativity is always going to bring more eyeballs than positivity.
Yes.
That's why the news is so depressing.
Right. And I think negativity in someone's person and in their soul is it just, you carry that shit, man. You carry that around with you everywhere.
I'm a positive person, you know, and social media, I had never been on it, and then I got on this Instagram thing, and I answer every one of them.
You're trying to get some panocha on the side, that's why.
No, I answer every one of them, and now I got notified.
You see
I
negative
told
ones?
You. Oh, yeah, and I laugh at them. I don't care about them. I don't care. I don't respond to anything. I'm gracious to those, and I just told my family that I don't want anybody out there to think that I'm better than anybody. I don't want anybody to think I'm arrogant. I'll never forget where I came from. I'm just Gil. And now...
And so what if you do? What the fuck difference does it make if you do?
Well, that's just on me. I don't want to piss off anybody. I don't. I am so appreciative of where I am in life and what's going on in my life. I love what's going on. I've been knocked off of Instagram now. I thought it was a 30-day suspension.
You show a picture of your fierro?
No, I swear, I don't mess around on
By accident,
Instagram.
maybe you had a fucking sandwich and your nuts were out.
Somebody
know.
tried to.
Oh, how did that happen?
I know I got hacked.
Big Dick Gil over here.
I got hacked on my AOL account. I think somebody tried to hack, and that's what.
AOL? Who tried to hack you? Charlie Chaplin? Motherfuckers, AOL. What year
know.
is this?
I know. I'm an oldosaurus. I
Huh?
still have it.
The man from Uncle?
Yeah. So I haven't been on, and I don't miss it at all.
You're drinking too much water. You got other things to worry about. Leaving your calzones without fucking manchas over there.
Yeah. So I don't miss it at all. Don't miss the Instagram shit. I haven't.
But you do podcasts, right? You do.
Yeah.
What's Bobby Lee's brother like? Is he like Bobby Lee?
There's some similarities there.
Because Bobby Lee's like more of a, like Bobby Lee would get into someone's ass like like get back and have a war or be like, fuck you, motherfucker,
Oh yeah, well, so yeah.
What's his brother like?
I always say that he's the best parts of Bobby.
How great was he when he came in here?
Bobby was the
He's
first
awesome.
guy. He was the first guy.
Yeah.
The first time I ever came on, Bobby Lee was on.
And I love Bobby. Bobby was the first comedian to take me on the road, to let me like open for him on the road. He gave me
awesome.
like one of my first breaks as far as like stand-up business stuff. And so yeah, I have a podcast with his brother called Scissor Bros, and we do like a lot of weird challenges and wild
you guys
stuff on that show.
Oh, what do you guys do?
We've done a lot of crazy stuff on that show. Have you ever heard of surf strumming? You ever heard of that fish?
No.
It's a fish that's so potent that it's illegal to come into the United
Get
States.
the fuck out of here.
It's something that they do over in Sweden.
What do you mean it's so...
You have to open it underwater. It's so potent. It's so fermented in the can. And we accidentally opened it not underwater and exploded all over my garage and all over our faces, and it stunk for like 2 weeks. And we ate it. It was... Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Is it good?
It's horrible. No, we were gagging while we were doing it. We had bones in our mouth. We had different stuff like that. We did a challenge where the first person to poop in a diaper won. We do weird fun stuff like that. We did a thing last week where we shot airsoft pellets at each other with slingshots, with high-powered slingshots,
Yeah.
and they're hurt. Like it's from here to over there. We do dumb stuff like that.
And how do people get to see that? Tell the people how they can watch that.
That's at youtube.com/Scissor Bros, or you can just type in Scissor Bros on YouTube, and we got a lot of fun, weird challenges there. We're about to release episode 82, so we've done a lot of a lot of strange things.
Let me ask you this: you want to be part of the show? Look at this. Look at the guys that they sent me. I figure you should be on that list.
Yeah, I know a lot of these.
It's an
comics out
NBC
here.
event.
I would love to.
And it's in a bit with the launching of the show.
Yeah.
And influencers and all NBC people. It is really kind of like a showcase for comedy that NBC asked me, would I be interested in allowing them to showcase comedians off the launch of my show? And I said, yeah. And now they send me the names of the comedians, and they're people that I know. We just met. I said, come on.
I would love to.
Okay.
I would love to. Yeah, I know a lot of the comics on that list.
Here, type in your information, and then I'll put you in there.
Okay.
What is your child? Do you have a boy or girl?
A little boy.
And what's he into?
He is into garbage trucks right now. He loves garbage trucks. He loves Winnie the Pooh. He loves Jungle Book.
I love that stuff, man. Because you know what? When somebody is into stuff as a kid, I think it stays with them, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're into I liked what cartoons? I mean Bugs Bunny and all that stuff. Like, I like that. I mean, I didn't have a lot of stuff, but I liked I liked when I was a kid and I would see an empty building or an empty house, we'd go into the house or the building. Mm-hmm. So I liked the idea of what's the history of a building, what's the history of a house. There was a house in San Fernando that people ran out of, and we would go in there after school, hang out. And even growing up, like I spent a lot of time watching guys that go on an abandoned, house quests and stuff like that, the shit that they find. Into the paranormal too, but.
Are you into paranormal stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
No.
We should go ghost hunting together, George.
We should go ghost hunting. Come with us.
Come on.
I have a ghost. I had a ghost in my house.
Do you?
The what do they call them? Poltergeists were in there, I think, when I moved in, and there was a lot of banging around stuff. And the first time I heard it, I'd just been there by myself, and I heard somebody go, "Ma," and I was like on a Sunday night, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then every once in a while I would hear Ma, but also I would hear fucking banging.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one in the house.
You'd hear my footsteps running out of your fucking house.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're talking about, and orbs in the house. There's not as many orbs in the house, but we're talking about fucking banging, like picking up a side end table and just maybe a couple inches off the ground and dropping it. So not a door opening by the wind, but actual banging in an area of on the attic above the living room or in that area. One time somebody came and did a DoorDash commercial during the pandemic to give, the waiters more tips and, money goes to them. And we all kind of did a thing. And the girl that was in there, I saw her go like this, and then do that. And then she told a guy that was there with me, said, tell George that in that corner over there, I could hear a woman talking really low. And I believed it. And I had somebody come into the house and they said there's like a closet by the front door. And they said, what, did the people that used to live here, did they have kids? I said, I don't know if they had kids. They go, I think they used to put those kids in that closet over there, like to punish them. They said, don't ever close the door to that closet. Like, don't close the door. You leave the door open. So the door's been open for fucking...
This is freaking me out.
9 years. They're in my house.
I'm getting chills just listening to this.
They're in my house.
You know what creeps me out is we've had this happen multiple times, my wife and I. Somebody will walk by my son. This has happened multiple times now. They'll walk by my son and they go, he's been here before. I'm like, what? Strangers have said this about our son. Freaks me out every single time. He's been here before.
So,
like, he has an old soul or something like that about him. I don't know, but it's a very odd thing to say to somebody that you don't know at all.
So, upstairs, I felt like there was something going on in another room, and I would be watching TV and I would do that, and you're like, man, I fucking feel like there's something going on over there. So I did a video where I held the video like this. And then when I brought it back, this face was in the lower corner.
Now, see, my only question to you, why do you stay?
And here's the video of the face. So this is in the lower corner, and it moves out of the way. And it was on the bed. It was on the bed with me. See it move out of the way?
My question is, what makes you stay there?
Yeah, moving is pretty bad. Yeah, it's that bad where it's like,
especially
you know what, I can.
So this is what I saw when I that was the first frame of the video. It was in the lower corner. So I thought it was in the other room, but it was in the low. So I always play the guitar in the bed, but I live alone. So once the day's over, I go upstairs. I'm watching TV. You're doing this stuff, and then I'm doing this, and I'm like, I do this over there, and that head was right here, next to me, next to me. And it's somebody that I knew.
The face was somebody that you knew?
Yep.
Who is it?
I can't say on the thing, but
it's like a friend or okay.
It was a friend of mine. So the ones that, and then when the lady came in, and this is a big thing. Like if people have things in their house, that people have things in their house. They feel things or they see things. I've never saw like an old man sitting in a chair. Like somebody will say, I'll come down for coffee in the morning and I'll look and there'll be an old man sitting in that chair. I haven't seen that shit. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that see that, or things fly off of the table. I've not seen that. But there's people who have homes that, listen, remember, if you have a house, there's people that have lived there, there's energy, people that have passed, there's family members that have passed, you go to a funeral, you come home, all this stuff is around you, or how close you were to somebody, all that stuff is around you. So yeah, you're going to hear some knocking at night.
I'll hear it one time.
Yeah.
I'm fucking gone.
The other night I slept in the other room because I had so much shit in one room and I was like, traveling and stuff. I go lay in the other room, which is a very cool room, very peaceful. I lay down and right before I'm starting to go out, I hear, and I'm going, somebody fucking knocked. And then you go to sleep. And I'm like, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll go ghost hunting with you.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Momo wants to do we have paranormal, this guy named Momo, but also there's people that feel other people. Mm-hmm. Those two. Like I don't know, clairvoyance or whatever the fuck but they can say something to you and they'll be like, they'll nail it. There's a guy, AJ Barrera, that did that to some people that he didn't know, and the people flipped out. They talked to these two guys, these two producers, and we got on the call, and he says, he goes, your father, so your father, he says, your father passed, right? And they say, yes, a couple of years ago. He wants me to tell you that you did the right thing. And both guys start crying. He goes, what does that mean to you guys? My father was on life support, and then the father said it was a tough decision, but it was the right thing. So he said, my mom did not want us to disconnect the machine, but he was gone. But my mom couldn't deal with the fact that once you unplug the machine, he's really gone, even though he was already gone. Mm-hmm. The machine was breathing for him, keeping him alive. And he said to the kids, because the boys older, they were grown men, you did the right thing, even though your mother didn't agree with it. Thank you for doing the right thing, because I was gone. And I mean, who knows that guy that you're just meeting? And I don't know how that is.
Too specific.
Too specific.
Yeah.
And people that you see or feelings that you get, intuition is all part of that. When I was working at night, and I was probably maybe 20, I used to work on Friday nights. I'm driving down, I'm going by myself up San Fernando Mission by Sepulveda, and I'm in my car, and from the restaurant up there, it's kind of goes down, and there's one light before you get to, then the other lights. Wait, remember on the old days, a fucking one light, then a mile later, there's another light. So cars would go, not necessarily cars would go fast, but as I started getting to the intersection, I felt like I needed to slow down, even though I had the green light. And I slowed down, and a van with no lights on went through the red light about 120 miles an hour. And that would have T-boned me. I would have never saw it. And I slowed down for whatever reason. And I went through that intersection for years, 20 years living there, driving around there. And I never slowed down before. And I just slowed down, and I went like this. And this car is fucking, man, just dark car, fucking through the fucking light, about 120 downhill, straight downhill. And it's that kind of shit, like, that's, and really only once. It's not like it's happened 10 times. Mm-hmm. Once at an important time, that guy would have killed me.
Yeah. Once is enough.
Would have killed me, yeah. Have you seen anything?
I'm a little bit, I haven't talked to my wife about it. We've kind of joked about it. We've prayed in my son's room because we don't know if the room is haunted or we just have a newborn. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, he's waking up at all hours of the night.
Yeah.
He's pointing at things.
But they see shit. Yeah, they see shit that.
I do think that the little kids see things.
They're innocent.
Yeah. They're like a conduit to it because they're so pure, and that, like,
you want the bleeding to stop from your oil come with us. You'll be so puckered up.
Yeah.
Nothing will
He's
go.
Gonna be frozen.
I go house hunting with you, and I'm packing. I'm done right now. I'm packing.
One night I was getting into bed, and you get to the thing, you're taking the thing, and I heard in this ear, George, in this ear. And I say out loud, when I'm in the house, I say out loud, I say, I just heard somebody say my name in my ear. And it's a trip. I was more afraid before we had the lady come in and take all the evil ones out. And then, we have an app, those ghost apps, mm-hmm. and they had a fucking ghost app, and we had it on downstairs, and it talks like that, like a computer. Mm-hmm. So we go down there, and the ghost says, Mayan, my daughter's name. And Mama was with me. I said, turn that fucking thing off.
Yeah.
People play Ouija boards. Don't play Ouija board.
I told my wife, that stuff freaks me out so much. I said, that's the only thing that is non-negotiable with me. I said, we're through. If I come home and you're with a friend and you're doing a Ouija board, and I came home once and our power's out and she had candles on with a friend and I thought she was doing a Ouija board. She goes, it's not what it looks like.
Yeah. It's the most evil. And the fact that you can get one at a drugstore or wherever, don't fuck around with the Ouija boards. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because you invite someone out.
Yes.
But you don't know how to put them. You got to put them back.
Yeah. I 1,000% agree with you on that. Those
and they
freak
sell
me
that
out
shit
so
black
much.
magic, man. Like I remember we do. Yeah, of course you do it. So you have your hands on it. You and your friend have your hand on it, and it moves. And you're like, you fucking moved it. He goes, I didn't move it, and it moves. So black magic you can get at a drugstore.
Yeah.
Or at a Target,
toy store.
At a toy store.
They sell them at the
It's
mall.
not a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
Spencer's
toy.
Gifts, random places like that. Yeah.
All right, man.
Around.
I'm going to get you on this gig.
Let's do it.
All right? Okay, cool. Jeremiah Watkins. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
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 Let's plug the special.
Yeah, I got a 1 hour special that's on Amazon Prime. It's called Jeremiah Watkins Family Reunion. The premise behind it is my family surprised me and sat in the front row, and I walked out, and my mom and her new husband are stage right, and my dad and his wife are stage left.
Whoa.
And my brother and his wife are in the middle of the crowd, and I just feel like I'm surrounded by family.
Oh, wow.
So it's an interesting concept for sure that I didn't plan on, but we.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I walked out and I was completely
Whoa.
shocked by what had happened. They told me they were coming to the show. I thought they were going to sit back of the room. The club sat them right up front.
But you know what? I've been doing stand-up 42 years. Talking about nevers. I've never, ever, ever heard of that. So you are the first one. Now we're going to watch.
Yeah.
We're going to watch anyways.
Yeah.
But now that you know this backstory of your parents being on different sides with their significance, but not together.
Mm-hmm. And part of the special, what's unique is I'm having slightly a breakdown, and I'm trying to manage my jokes mixing with, because my mom heckles me at one part of the show.
Oh.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole can of worms.
And you weren't expecting that.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Congratulations. That's
Thank
big.
you.
That's big. That's your first one?
Yeah. Yeah, working on the next hour right now. We're shopping around the next hour, so yeah.
Good, man. And you write, you don't have any issues writing? You sit down and write?
Yeah, I'm a guy who I write on stage a lot. I'm like I improvise a lot on stage, and a lot of times I will end up listening. I'm really good about listening back to my sets and pulling the material from stuff that I said in the moment and stuff like that. And
do you ever go get them transcribed?
There's different apps and stuff like that. But there's something that I like about the repetition of listening and writing it down and stuff like that.
At some point, you won't have enough time to write them down.
Yeah,
and then you can go get them transcribed.
Sure,
which I do. I have all this stuff transcribed.
Yeah, that's cool.
I remember I went to Carlos Santana's house and I said, "So what do you do with the shows?" And you record the shows, and he took me to a room like this where they had every show that maybe he's ever done archived and marked.
Yeah.
On the walls.
Wow. That's
and
so
just
cool.
like, wow. And I've been recording my sets for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
I even, we used to go to Circuit Cities, and when Olympus came out with a new microcassette recorder, I would go get it. And I literally would pay like $250. I probably had maybe $1,000 to my name, but I would go do that because to me it was like investing in the business.
Yeah.
And really spend money on shit that you would be like, I mean, you could really do this with a fucking $40 recorder.
Right.
But to me, that wasn't the thing.
Wasn't good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you record on your phone now?
No, I haven't recorded through the systems.
Oh, you plug in? I mean, that's even better. Yeah, if you can plug in, yeah, get the best quality. That's great.
Yeah. But one show that I did in San Francisco at the Punchline when they did like the 25-year anniversary of it, it was on a Sunday, and I think I went in there and was really loose, and then the guy goes, "Hey, the system, we don't have it. We didn't have that." I was like, "Oh, are you serious?" And rare like that, almost like a rare where you're so loose and just talking.
Do you like to get loose on stage? Outside of the material?
In a club like that, yeah. I write on stage too.
I think you'd love my show, Stand Up on the Spot. It's comedian. I invite my close comedian friends to do the shows, and you go up with no prepared material, and you ask the audience to yell out suggestions. And then you just riff off the audience suggestions. It's super fun.
That's pretty good. Let's try Gil. All right, Gil, you want to be all right? How about what would they yell out?
It can be a word. It can be a phrase.
Let's pretend Gil's on stage.
Okay.
And would somebody say, okay, so if he was on stage, what would he say? All right, somebody's going to yell out something.
Police chase.
Police chase. There you go. I remember once chasing this guy in a police chase. He turned one way, I turned the other. I ended up wrecking. He got away. I couldn't do anything about it.
All right.
Yeah. And then he would be like, all right, let me get another suggestion. And then it just keeps going.
I had to stop. I had blood coming out of my oil.
Hey,
Yay! We found it.
I forgot the song already. Gil no puede tomar porque tiene sangre saliendo de su hoyo. All right, brother. Congratulations on the special. We'll definitely watch.
Thank you very
much. And
much.
I'm going to send this number as soon as I get out of here.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, bro.
Yeah.